Hi, guys, and welcome down to another Keeping You in the Loop podcast. Today I'm joined by my co host, Joe from Theme Park Insanity.
Hello, everybody.
And today we've got a stacked podcast for you. We're going to talk about a lot of things. There's been a lot of news recently, and I think that, with that being said, we should talk about one of Joe's specialties here on the podcast is about Flamingo Land. So
That sounds good to me, mate. I'll
let's do
crack
that.
on in that case. Definitely. So Flamingo Land has seen a bit of a sort of down period over Christmas. However, RCS are now officially back on site as of the 13th of January. Now, Flamingo Land themselves actually posted an official update on their social media recently, showing that work had actually begun on the Cobra Roll side of the actual ride itself. That obviously showed that they had the trenches dug out, all concreted and done, and the track itself is actually getting installed. So, with RCS's current rate of work, I would imagine we're going to be seeing completion within maybe 2 weeks at the very most. That's
Wow.
assuming no further issues or anything like that come up. So, yeah, I'm definitely excited to see this. What about you, mate? What do you
Yeah,
think?
I mean, the speed that the throwing this thing up is incredible. And that trench is pretty deep. Now, do they have a problem with heights at Flamingo Land? I don't know if they have a restriction or anything, but I don't think
Nice.
they do they? I mean, it's not higher than is it Kamali?
It's no, it's not, to be honest, actually. And I think one of the reasons, and I was looking at this earlier
Mm,
on a forum, and I saw someone commenting about this.
right.
And I think the reason that they've dug as deep as they have is that the original coaster, height wise, has been designed to actually bear in mind the sort of layout and area that they actually had over at Hopi Hari.
Mm,
So the landscape they had available, and
that's
obviously,
right. They had the trenches dug out. We were talking about that in the first
exactly.
podcast, right?
They
Yeah.
certainly did, yeah, exactly,
Ah,
yeah.
makes sense.
So I think that's kind of the reason they've had to dig down as far as they have, because they've obviously built, or designed that ride in mind with that particular landscape itself. But in terms of height restrictions at Flamingo Land, I mean, don't quote me on this, but I don't think there's anything there. I think they can build as high as they want, to be honest,
Yeah.
realistically. So yeah,
And I'm
yeah,
very impressed. And I noticed that it's definitely a custom layout design. I know it's a clone
yeah. Hmm.
of the one in Italy, but there's been custom aspects to it. There's a few people on CoasterGen on the Facebook page. Cheap plug
Yeah.
there. Go and like us over on Facebook. But some people were commenting saying that why are they using the square supports in the trenches where commonly the round type. Well, that must
Yeah,
be because it's designed for Hopi Hari, and
exactly.
that must be the custom part of that ride. Now,
I'm
what's cool
guessing
with
so.
that is that they've been able to accommodate that, and not only accommodate it, they've been able to throw it up like a Meccano set, just literally piece after piece after piece, and
Yeah, they've not stopped, have they, ever since they sort of started putting it together? It's coming up really fast.
yeah, really fast. And I love the pacing of the social media posts as well. It's been really
I
well
do.
done. Yeah, fantastic job. So if they are listening,
Yeah.
then well done,
Big
social.
big shout out to you, Flamingo Land. Definitely done an absolutely cracking job in terms of keeping us up to date with what's going on.
I'd say
So
so.
can't argue with that whatsoever. Yeah, so I think realistically, then, I would say that, yeah, I think completion of the layout itself is going to be within 2 weeks. I would say no later than week beginning 20th, so that'll be next week. Just bearing in mind, obviously, the fact that they're cracking on like they are now. And assuming that they've prepped everything ready with the trains and that electrics doesn't take too long to put in,
Uh,
I would say testing mid to late February, maybe,
Weather
at a push.
dependent. Weather
Uh,
dependent, I reckon.
Exactly. Yeah, definitely. Especially winter anyway,
Well, with
in
me
this part
working
of the world.
outside, I've seen what's kind of coming on its way. So, excuse me.
Ooh,
Ugh.
nice. That doesn't sound good.
We had the uh, we had the first lot of it with that storm. Is it Brendan? Yeah, it was Brendan, wasn't
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it? There's going to be multiple waves of storms like coming over. So,
Oh no.
batten down the hatches, guys, and let's just hope. Let's pray that on February it's a nice day and all the
Yeah,
coasters are running.
definitely.
Blackpool. So going from one coaster that's being built to one that's being retracked. Nice little segue there.
Indeed.
Um, do you think that the big one will be open on opening day?
Now, I say that's a tough one to call. It really depends on how hard and how fast they're working over at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. I think, and to be honest, I know a lot of people are not going to like me saying this, but I don't think it's going to be open. I think we're going to see another ghost train situation in terms of it being closed for a good month or so, at least. I think the reason being that, really tracks should have already started going in, sort of on park for the big one. And I mean, chances are it could well have happened and we're just not aware. But I think, to be honest, providing sort of it hasn't, you think they've probably got to do some testing as well when it obviously gets reinstalled. So I don't think we are, mate. I really don't. I mean, what do you think?
I'm optimistic,
Hmm.
but either way, if the weather's not good in February, then it ain't running anyway. So
No.
it, I've got a
Yeah, high
feeling now,
winds.
though, saying that now is that it's going to rain and it's going to blow a gale, and they're going to be like, "Oh yeah, it's not open because of the wind," and you'll be like, "Oh yeah, there's nothing to do with that piece of track missing over there. Then nothing to do with that at all." No, it's the wind.
It's a custom drop section, didn't you know? They're going for like the extreme version of 13, where instead of the track dropping, you just drop off the track.
The big Intamin.
The big Intamin, that's the one. I mean, you were sort of talking as well about whether the park could be ready for opening day or not. I mean, what do you think?
Well, they've stepped up the merch already. I really like the new designs, what they've got on the website. Oh, by the way, guys, go over and check the shop at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. You can buy a monorail cart.
I know we were thinking about that, weren't we? But
£300. We were thinking about, you know what? If we had more subscribers, we'd definitely get that and we'd use it as the set because that is just like that's incredible.
That'd be epic. You imagine sticking that and then like just recording in it. Be amazing.
And there's things that are available to buy as well, and they're like Icon. I think there were car connections. That hold the cards together. I think there was one of them on there for about £40. Yeah, there's a monorail Love FM, or Rock FM, I think, and it was £200. And it's got sliding doors, guys. So if you're into that kind of thing and your garden's big enough, go and buy one.
Oh yeah,
I'd say
definitely.
I'd love to buy one.
You could like make it a centerpiece for sort of if you had like a little patio area instead of having like a table set, you could just stick a monorail car there. Just sit in it. Be welcome.
I'll turn it into like a custom fire pit or something. That'd be amazing.
Oh yeah, that'd be absolutely phenomenal.
Valhalla Daily Star custom fire pit.
Well, there's a fire effect, so at least it wouldn't be them paying for the gas. So I suppose at least Blackpool saving some money there.
Merlin, if you're listening,
indeed, learn some. I think, to be honest, the park themselves actually seem to be doing really well in terms of sort of cracking on, as you say, with the maintenance side of things. They were pretty quick to get all those cars off the Grand National, off the big one, etc. When it shut down last year.
Yeah.
So from my point of view, I think this should be pretty on form. And bearing in mind the issues they had in 2019 with a lot of the rides sort of breaking down on opening day, obviously they're going to want to avoid that as much as possible this year. So
yeah, I think they're going to have a dress rehearsal.
I think they're going to multiple dress rehearsals.
Yeah, no, I do. I think that's going to be the case. They're going to.
So yeah, I mean, opening weekend itself, I'm really looking forward to, and obviously we'll be meeting up, so it's going to be a good do, definitely.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. And if any of you guys see us rocking around, make sure you say hello. Make sure you introduce yourself, and we'll introduce ourselves as well because we want to be part of this amazing community going forward. And we'll be in Wetherspoons as well, hopefully later on at night. The Velvet Coaster.
Oh yeah, get some drinks in. Sounds
good. Cheeky drink.
Nice couple of rounds.
Yeah, I reckon so. And then hopefully the big one will be the track will be put in overnight, and then it'll be open for the second day.
Oh man, can you imagine riding that thing with a hangover? That'd be crazy.
I have. I have done. Yeah, it's wakes you up. To be fair,
I can imagine, to be honest, especially rattling down that drop. Anyway,
yeah, straight. Straight to straight to the big breakfast in the morning. I think as well when we get there.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, we'll be. I mean, we're planning on getting on site. Well, I say on site to the Pleasure Beach for about 8, half 8, because we usually do. We leave nice and early to give ourselves plenty of time to get there. So we'll be packing up, paying the fee or whatever, and then we'll be going straight for our breakfast.
Yeah, I'll be going. I go out Friday, stay Friday night and Saturday night. So
excellent. So I'll be dropping you a message to let you know when I'm there. If any of you guys are there as well, come and join us. It'd be fantastic, as Luke said, to come and meet you as well.
Yeah.
Just put some faces to names, to be honest. I know a lot of you are planning on going, so definitely come and give us a shout, guys. It'd be lovely to meet you. Really would.
Yeah, it would. So. Hopefully, Icon's nice and warmed up and ready to go for this season. That's what we're looking forward to. Just a quick one on Icon, guys. Next week, I have a Icon review. Now, what we're going to try and do is do these video reviews where we just talk about our favorite rides. We're not going to do all of them. We're not going to go around the whole of the Pleasure Beach and stand there for hours filming slow motion footage and stuff. But we've made a bit more effort with Icon because it is my personal favorite in the UK. So get ready for that video. It's going to be cool. It's going to drop. It's going to be in 1080, and it's all filmed in 4K and downscaled. So some of the
Ooh,
slow
very
motion
nice.
footage in it is crisp. So it's nice. Yeah.
I'll definitely have to check that one out as soon as it's online as well. But yeah, right. So moving on then, that's going to be obviously our first sort of official, proper sort of day of the 2020 season.
Mm,
Just to let you guys know, for any of you that follow Theme Park Insanity, this coming weekend we have a special visit to York Dungeon. Now,
that's
it's not.
right. You do. I saw that on your page. Yeah.
We do, yeah, exactly, yeah. So it's not just going to be a bog standard visit, and I'm not going to give too much away on this because I want it to be something special. However, what's also going to happen is that the dungeon are very, very kindly pay for a nice little meal for us as well, which I can't really complain about. You know,
Wow.
it's nice to be sort of honoured.
Now, is this a
So,
dungeon meal or is this a meal like a
oh,
McDonald's or
I
is it?
think no, I think it's a pretty reputable meal. I don't know exactly where because they've just said it's somewhere local, but it'll be nice,
Yeah.
definitely. But we're looking. We've actually got a 2 o'clock tour booked, so we'll be sort of giving a bit of a chat stuff on our page about sort of half 1, 2, and then after we come out of the dungeon and we've done what we need to do, then I will give you guys the full update on exactly what we've actually been up to in there. So tune in. You don't want to miss this out, trust me. And there's also something else you don't want to miss out on, which I'll come on to towards the end of the cast.
Okay.
So not going to say too much for now. But let's move on. We have Chessington World of Adventure has announced Rainforest. What are your thoughts on that?
It's just a retheme, isn't it? Really, with the
Yeah.
extra mini log flume, and they've just rethemed the elephant. I can't remember what the elephant ride was called. What was it called?
Or is it Flying Jumbos or
That's
something
the.
like
I
that? I
think that's
think.
the one.
Yeah.
And they just coloured it basically, haven't they? So, but I mean,
Multicolored.
fair enough. They're investing a little bit into the park, and they're not investing in the right areas. I think they need a bigger ride.
Yeah, there's
You
a lot
lose
that
something
needs
like
doing with that park.
Ramesses Revenge, which was a phenomenal ride. It had its
Mhm.
problems, I get that, but on its day, it was good and it was really good. It was better than Ripsaw in my opinion when it was on its day.
Yeah, you see,
Um,
we only got to experience Ripsaw, so unfortunately, we never actually got Ramesses Revenge, which we're a little bit sad about. Got to admit, but you know, at the same time,
I'm pretty sure that Ramesses had a bit more of a wilder setting to it,
yeah, it certainly looked like it on the videos that we've seen. You know, in terms of what people have filmed.
more of a longer cycle as well, I believe.
Yeah,
It
I
felt
mean
like it,
it.
and you
I
get
mean, so
wet. Oh my god, you got like it.
absolutely drenched.
Oh yeah, it was good. On a summer's day, it was a really cool ride to go on.
Nice, cool splash for the win. Definitely
Hey, I'll
can't
tell
beat
you
that.
something as well about Ramesses Revenge, and not a lot of people talk about the view.
I can
The view
imagine.
from the top was really nice. On a clear day, oh, it was great. And if you ever, when you do go down, is the Ferris wheel still there? I think it is. Make sure you go on it. You can see London from it.
Oh wow,
It's
definitely have to
awesome.
check that one out then.
Yeah, it's really cool.
And maybe we'll try and fit a trip in there when we go down to Fort Park. So
I
looking
keep
forward
forgetting
to
about
doing.
that.
Yeah, that's going to be a smashing. I mean, you just look at my. I know, obviously, I did that silly little video on my Instagram today, but I just couldn't resist. You know, I'm getting really psyched about this trip, so I just thought, you know what,
But you know
fuck
what's
it.
cool about that trip is that I haven't done Darren Brown, so that'll be new for me and you.
Exactly, yeah, everything will be new for me for the first time, so you'll be able to see my
And
reactions.
there'll be something I can't remember what else there is, but there's something else down there that I've not done.
The Walking Dead ride, maybe. I know,
Yes,
obviously, it used
yes,
to be X, but it's going to
yes,
be nice
that's
to
it.
see that theme.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss the 2 minute rave. It was awesome.
Got
They
to
should
admit, the
give you
music's
glow.
on.
They should have put glow sticks on the actual restraints. That'd been so cool.
Oh, that would have been awesome. It really would have. I mean, obviously, I didn't get to do it, but I know sort of how indoor darkness coasters work, but I don't know what the actual theme inside was like. So,
Just lights, lots
yeah,
of
just
lights. Yeah,
lots and lots of lights.
lasers, lights. But it was all. It wasn't
Yeah,
really
all that
timed. It
sort of
just
thing.
kind of went off, and they were triggered to the
But
track.
yeah, so I think with sort of Chessington, I mean they're investing in retheming this new area.
Yep.
Now the drop tower ride, which is due to be opening in 2021, is supposed to link into that new area. And as you mentioned, So are you still there, Luke?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah.
Cool, nice one. Sorry, I thought we lost you there. So as we mentioned earlier on about the sort of the view of it, thankfully you're probably still going to get that, but you're probably not going to get it for quite as long. It's themed to crocodiles, isn't it?
Yeah,
believe.
I
The
believe
hotel.
so. Now, is this going to be a tall one, or is it going to be like a frog hopper?
I think, and I believe, it's going to be quite similar to Detonator at Fort Park. I think it's got that same sort of design. It certainly looks it from the plans.
Who's it made by? Do you know?
I actually don't, to be honest. No, I mean it was still quite unclear on the manufacturer, but who's Detonator made by? Do we know?
Detonator. I'm going to Google on air.
Sounds good. Let's find out.
Be good to me, Wikipedia.
Because I think the chances are, looking at the sort of design that the ride actually has, it looks extremely similar to that, and obviously Merlin would already have connections with that manufacturer, so that would make some sense. I don't think it's going to be like an SNS sort of shot and drop tower.
Fabry. Fabry, it says.
It's a Fabari then. A Fabry. Yeah.
So it's Fabri.
Is that Fabari? I think.
Fabari. Yeah, Fabry.
Let us know in the comments, guys.
Yeah, comment down below how much we butchered that name.
Indeed, how we actually. It's like me trying to do Planky. There we go again. Can't even do it now. Planky Platypus last week. I completely butchered James's name as well.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny because it's the first time I've officially talked to that guy. So
that's true.
Maybe it's like an absolute tool, but there we go.
You won't mind.
Yes. It's all cool. So I think, it definitely looks like one of those sort of designs, and I think the theme is going to be quite sort of heavy as well. But it will fit.
It always is at Chessington. When you go, you'll realize that they do actually have some really, really, like the Discus Coaster Cobra is really well themed. Like, like the actual snake on it is so high up in the sky. It's crazy. Like you look at it, you think, wow, that's really high. Like you can see it from almost pretty much anywhere in the park. It's a big statement, really. It's cool. It's a good ride.
But I mean, sort of their ride standards in general are pretty high down there as well, aren't they?
Well, I think Vampire sets the tone, right? So you've got to have good rides surrounding that, and then Vampire really is carrying that place, and it's an old ride.
I know it was pre-Nemesis, that wasn't it? Was it one of John Wadley's first official sort of rides?
Yeah. So James mentioned it last week. Is that Chessington was supposed to be the place for the thrill rides, but turned out it didn't work that way. Yeah, didn't go that way.
Ended up with Alton Towers being Alton Towers and Fort being the place to throw instead, which is a bit of a turn on the sort of U-turn, really, isn't it? Because especially with Thorpe intending to be the family park originally as well, which is quite hard to imagine now, really, isn't it? Sort of given.
I hope they stick. Yeah, I hope they stick to what they're doing now. And put more rides in. Put that new ride, that new coaster in that everybody's rumored to be an RMC. I can't see it personally being an RMC, but we'll see.
No. I'm sort of coming more to your sort of wavelength on that one. I mean, I'm seeing more sort of GTI with those new elements sort of inbuilt into it as well. And I think that definitely will be the case. Now, we did actually have a question earlier on. I'm just going to try and see if I can find it now. So just let me do that.
Googling on air segment.
Indeed.
Need a jingle for this bit.
Like, no, actually, I can't do that. That's countdown.
Demonetized.
Oh, hang on a minute. I think I might. Oh no, that's not it. Sorry about this, guys. You know what? I'll come back to that in a second. So I mean, obviously, that's it's Chessington's new sort of investment for the year. Now we've had that official announcement by Fantasy Island about their new ride.
Blinging Bing.
Indeed.
Yeah. Yes, the return of. Really good ride, great attraction. I always enjoyed it. I think Pleasureland might be a bit sour that they couldn't get hold of it for the new investment.
Because it's.
I feel sorry for them because I think they're trying to get back on the map, but everybody's buying unless they buy GeForce. Which I keep saying it could happen. It could happen.
GeForce speculation.
Could be number one. Even in them links clickers where you press things that many times. People use for the rides when they're checking how many people have gone through baggage and stuff.
Oh, like ride count things.
Yes, counters. I need one of them every time I say GeForce is going to get bought out by someone. But I actually think that rainforest, no, going back a little bit, but that rainforest
Yeah.
theme for Chessington is going to open the doors up for many different attractions in that area.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, obviously, there's a lot of sort of family influence, so that is something that is carrying sort of
Yeah.
throughout the park. We also spoke last week about the possibility of sort of GCI coming to maybe another park. I still think that Chessington would be a good call for that.
Well, it'd be good
Um,
because rainforest, wood coaster, and then you've got different beasts of the rainforest, Merlin like their animals and that kind of thing. So
Certainly do. So I
yeah,
think that fit really well.
yeah.
Definitely. I
But
mean,
fantasy, yeah, go on, sorry.
no, no, yeah, go on, man. It's
But
all
yeah,
good.
Fantasy Island getting that ride. What have they called it?
So they call it turbulence, which
Turbulence.
is, yeah, I think sort of speaking to you earlier on from what you've actually said, that kind of makes a lot of sense in terms of what you can expect from the experience, at least, anyway.
Yeah, and there's different cycles they can run on that to actually run with that theme, so it makes sense in a lot of ways. A great attraction, and I think it's just going to add to their catalog down there really well.
Absolutely. And it'll be the first time that we'll actually ride that when we go. We're planning to go in April, I believe. And I think that'll be a joint part with Towers Travels for our theme park Loopy channel.
Awesome.
So we are planning on vlogging that, guys. So if you are listening, definitely look out for that. There will be quite a few vlogs going on this year, but that's obviously going to be one of them. And that, again, will be another of those first reactions for us because we've never actually been. So that's going to be really good. But we will obviously cover Turbulence as well, providing that it is actually open by the time we go.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
it should be amazing. Right. So going back to the question, and I found it.
Hey.
We each week, for those of you that might be listening to this for the first time, we put out a brand sort of a post saying, let us know about any shout outs, any questions that you may have, any requests like that. We have Michael Wade Moss has dropped us a question on
Oh,
Flamingo Land Crazy. Now,
nice.
his question to us is with all the hybrid colons RMC coasters out there now, do you think the masses want more standard woodies built or more of the hybrids? That is a very good question. What are your thoughts?
Ooh. Um. Well, Wickerman did well. It's been voted one of the best, and it's an
Definitely.
old style. It's got that unbanked turnaround to the airtime hill. It's
Yeah.
got the two airtime hills at the start, which is like a good old pleasure beach ride.
Oh,
I think that them rides will always do great in the right circumstances. Now, if you put that just next to like Nickelodeon Streak, I don't think it'd do very well. But
no.
in terms of where it is, hybrids, I think the demand is big because the people, the parks who build them are open
Yeah.
about it and they let you know it's a statement. I think it could be something to do with RMC themselves. Like, no, if we're building this ride, you need to tell people about it. Otherwise, what's the point?
Well, exactly, because RMC are kind of building on their reputation, aren't they? And sort
Right.
of trying to. They're one of the most sort of well-known coaster manufacturers out there now. With the likes of B&M and sort of Intamin,
Oh yeah.
RMC is becoming almost a sort of household name for theme parks in the American
Oh
side of
no, it's
things.
definitely. I think it's just a household name in general. I mean, it's in No
Definitely,
Limits now. The hybrid coaster is now available in No Limits, and
and I
the amount of designs that we've done one, and we released it on day release of the update, and we're over 600 views on that, and it just
wow,
shows you how popular they are. They really are popular videos. So
absolutely.
if you can imagine an RMC on a Fort Park, how popular that's going to be,
Oh,
it would boom. It would be massive if they
if
do
it
it right.
Oh yeah, they've definitely got to do it right because I mean, and especially with the amount of time between investments as well, they'd have to really come back with something special, which I could see them pulling off. I really could.
So what do you think? Do you think that
I,
there's still room for that classic style?
I think there is, and as you say, I think it really depends on the park that it's built. Now, Chessington, going back to that again, I think would really benefit from a traditional wooden coaster. I think there's still sort of demand for that. I think Legoland would also benefit from that kind of sort of coaster as
Absolutely.
well.
Yeah.
Because again, I mean, the thing from sort of my sort of personal perspective is that the traditional Woody almost has more of a family coaster feel to it. I mean,
Yeah.
correct me if I'm wrong, but obviously Wickerman, that's a family coaster. There is a massive, massive demand now for the RMC hybrids or hybrids in general
Mm-hmm.
in terms of the wooden side of things. Therefore, I think given the fact that we don't have one here in the UK as of yet,
Yeah.
I think to be honest with you, actually, I think really the demand for that it's definitely growing in times. And as sad as it sounds, I think we're going to be seeing the traditional Woody sort of die out a bit more now as sort of time moves forward. Failing that, if they're going to keep that traditional style, then obviously things are going to have to change in terms of the layout, and obviously that's kind of pointing at GCI sort of releasing that steel track. They're
Yeah,
thinking about that themselves. Obviously we've got Gravity Group and various other different manufacturers out there as well, but I think the traditional Woody is more now a sort of thing of the past. I think that we're heading towards hybrid, and I think hybrid demand is a lot higher.
yeah, and
Definitely.
the more reliable in a way. You know, steel on wood, so the steel part of it is always going to be there, right? It's just gonna have to
Exactly.
just gonna have to re-weld certain areas and that kind of thing. Whereas
Yeah.
if it's a traditional wooden coaster, you got to strip the layer of rail off and then change the wood underneath, and then you got to revarnish all that kind of stuff. So it's a big maintenance, project. Now,
Exactly. Yeah.
I think if they did Wicker Man like a
Mm.
clone, but they
Yeah.
did it in Chessington, it would still do very, very well
I completely
because
agree.
there's nothing like that down south.
No,
Nothing. Name me a wooden coaster down south.
there is literally no wooden coasters down there. I mean, the farthest south you're going to get is possibly Oakwood, maybe.
Yes.
But I mean, in terms of past that, nothing whatsoever, as far as I know.
No.
Literally.
So if they did something like the Wicker Man, themed to a rainforest creature or some
Yeah.
kind of environment, that could really work. And I could see that working. If you do that and you put a hybrid in over at Fort Park, you're
Yeah.
on for a winner. I think you're on for a winner there.
Absolutely, definitely. And you're kind of giving sort of that end of the country, sort of the chance to experience that for themselves as well, because
Yeah.
a lot of people down there are having to travel right up, sort of up north,
Yeah.
which makes a big difference because normally it's us traveling down south. But a lot of them, a lot of them are actually having to travel up north to come and experience that for themselves. So with the demand at that end of the country, that could be a big winner, not only for Fort but for Chessington as well. Definitely.
And for Merlin, if Merlin
Which is
do it.
amazing. Thank you very much for that question, Michael. We really appreciate that, and that's
Yeah.
absolutely amazing. So, also a big shout out to you for that too.
Yep. Thank you.
Moving on, then, what is the next topic we would like to cover?
I can't remember. What is it?
Think.
What was
I
it?
mean, obviously, we touched on Fantasy Island
Yeah.
and Turbulence. What else do you think could happen at the park? What do you think's next? Because obviously, the Mellors are putting in consistent investment into that park.
Into Fantasy Island, right?
Do you see sort of any further changes or any sort of further investment coming?
Yes. They're constantly painting up and changing the style of the Vekoma rides, right?
Yeah, they are.
So
keep
they're
updating
always
that quite
looking
regularly.
to like rebrand, re-stamp themselves on the map, make sure that people are attracted to being there. Yeah, I can see it, especially if Pleasureland are going to invest as much as they are going to in Southport. I can
Yeah,
see the smaller parks like we were talking about before, like Lightwater Valley and even Legoland to that extent is you need to invest to stay afloat
definitely.
and
You
get
really
the
do.
crowds, get the right crowds as well. Getting the right
Yeah,
crowds is a major issue that these parks have right now.
it really is. And I mean, sort of the enthusiast community is just growing and growing and growing, sort of by the year. I
It
mean,
is.
the demand for theme parks and amusement parks in general seems to be skyrocketed. And that's amazing for the industry, but it's keeping up with that demand.
Yeah.
That's the key. So, yeah, I think to be honest, sort of they obviously would know that with the fact that, Pleasureland is getting that complete overhaul. I would hope that they will put some further investment into Fantasy Island in terms of maybe putting another major coaster in there, perhaps in the
Yeah,
foreseeable future.
even something like Rage, the
Yeah,
Eurofighter or something. That'd be cool,
that would. It'd be really good,
and you could
and it'd
fit
be
one in there really easily.
definitely because the footprint's quite small for those sorts of things, isn't it? If you do it right.
Yeah, if you do it right, and as well, Chessington. That'd be a good move for Chessington as well. Putting a Eurofighter in there, that'd be great.
Absolutely, definitely, it'd be a good fit for the park with that actually, and it'd be something a bit more thrilling for the older ones that are visiting as well. It'd give them something, sort of like go for rather than just obviously the more family rides.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some good rides down there, don't get me wrong, but obviously I think Chessington just needs something extra, if
Hmm.
that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely.
So You know what? I am actually going to cover Lightwater Valley because you did mention it. Now,
Okay.
that that is one park that does need some serious investment. If you look at the current state of things, I mean, obviously I'm sort of close by. I'm sure we might have possibly discussed this before, but I'm still going to sort of cover it because I do think it's relevant.
Yeah.
There is a lot that does need to change. Now, I get the impression, and I mean, sort of correct me if I'm wrong, but looking at the current things they've announced in terms of the February half-term event they're holding, I think they're going down the more sort of family route now, especially with the puppet shows and the magic shows and the heavy sort of family influence. I don't know. I kind of get that sort of impression from the park. And if that is the case, that could see the closure of some pretty big rides on site, which would be quite sad, to be honest. But
Yeah.
having said that, who knows?
Them
What do you think?
shows are a big investment. You think about everything that goes into them. You've got to pay actors to do it. You've got to
Yeah.
pay the companies to come in and do the lighting, the sound, and all that kind of stuff as well.
Yeah.
So they're not spending money, if you know what I mean. They're actually putting money in, but are they going to get
Yeah.
enough out by doing that kind of thing? I don't know. I mean, Blackpool
Hmm.
have the luxury of having their own arena, so they can put anything on
Yeah.
that they want in there, and it will pull people in, and they will get a park ticket throughout the day before they go in.
Yeah.
It's a great place. Now, I don't know if Lightwater Valley has anything like that, or I've never
Yeah.
been up there since I was, well, I have been up there, but I can't remember. I was a kid, so I
Yeah.
don't know.
That's good. I mean, to be honest, they don't really sort of have anything in terms of a sort of dedicated arena as such. They have the Showbound, which was one of the old sort of areas where they used to have a big sort of indoor play center.
Right.
That's since obviously been ripped out, and it's almost sort of a conference style center kind of thing. It's got that sort of feel. And what they've done is they've put a stage in there along with sort of relevant seating and everything, and it's all quite decorated, quite modern and nice. But as you say, it is a big investment for them doing that. So it's not as if they aren't putting the money in. I just think that they need to maybe sort of think of the bigger picture, if that makes sense, in terms of kind of how you're going to bring the people back to the park. It is very good putting those shows on, but obviously there are other things people come for as well. And a lot of the rides there are quite outdated now.
Seems to me like they're locked in this mindset of we need to bring these kind of things in, and these companies that are doing these shows, I don't know if it's in-house or whether it's outside, but if it's a contractor, they're
Yeah,
making so much money when they could be doing it themselves. Now,
absolutely.
they might be branding it as themselves, but if you actually look at who's putting them on, like who's doing the choreography and all that kind of thing, there are companies there that are going to be making an absolute killing out of these things. And they don't do these things for a job for no reason. They do it
No,
for
they
the
don't.
money. So
Exactly.
they need to step out of this bubble and think, right, I'm looking at this park now and I'm seeing it dying. What can we do? A magic show is not going to bring people in, unfortunately. It's
No,
not Benidorm.
no. Well, no, exactly. No, it's a theme park, not
Yeah,
a seaside. Yeah.
you know. So I mean, build a ride, and people will come. They'll turn up.
Absolutely. Definitely.
I mean,
Especially if you sort of build the sort of right type of ride as well. You're going to bring the crowds in. It's as simple as that. And like you said, sort of
oh
outsourcing
my god, you
entertainment
could
fees.
RNC the ultimate.
You certainly can. You imagine that thing twisting and turning through the trees.
That's an
My God,
idea for a
amazing.
video. Stay tuned on CoasterGen for that one.
Oh hell yeah, definitely got to see that. You got to get that done, man. Definitely.
that's a great idea. Oh no, Wolf, if you're listening, we've got an idea, dude.
Oh yeah, definitely. I need to see it. So yeah, you guys need to crack on and get that done. So that's everything for this week, guys. Thank you very much for listening. I know we've had a few issues. Hopefully those should have been resolved. But yeah, apologies if there is sort of anything missing. But I would just like to take this opportunity to thank you all very, very much for tuning in and listening to this cast. Definitely go check out our Facebook page. We're well, in fact, 4 likes now off 1,000, which is absolutely phenomenal. So from me personally, I want to thank you guys so, so much for your support. It really does mean the world. We also have our Twitter account. Go check us out and give us a follow on there. We have our YouTube account now, which is official to Theme Park Insanity, and we have so much content planned for this year, guys. So
Yeah.
check that out. But so that's everything from me. I'll pass you over to my co-host, Luke.
So, guys, I just want to say a massive thank you for listening to this podcast. We are looking into the future now of trying to get us on Google Podcast and Apple Podcast, even Spotify. So, if anybody has any advice on how to do this, drop us an email or messages on Facebook or Twitter or anywhere you can find us, or even join our Discord server and we can have a chat about it. So that'd be really, I'd really appreciate that if someone could reach out and help us with that.
Absolutely, definitely. In fact, sorry, there is just one thing I want to sort of cover. Actually, sorry, I forgot because I do
Okay.
have an announcement for next week's cast.
Oh yeah, you did, and you teased that at the start, so I think
I
you better, yeah.
certainly did. Absolutely. Definitely better cover it. So, next week, we have something incredibly cool planned. We're going to be having someone quite special join us, and it's going to be a very different style cast. Now, what this is going to do is it's going to give you an insight like no other into the industry. It's going to sort of give you an insight into sort of various different places. All I'm going to say. But you definitely do not want to miss this cast, guys. It's going to be absolutely amazing. I can guarantee you that right now.
Yeah.
So make sure you tune in as soon as this next week's cast, that's episode 6, goes live. And that will be hopefully on our channel a week tomorrow.
Yep.
So stay tuned for that, guys. I'll give you much more information on that as of Monday the 20th. And that'll be going on our page. So definitely tune in. There
Yeah,
we go.
I'm so excited for that. I can't wait. So it's going to be special. We won't say anything until the announcement's made, but make sure that you go over to Theme Park Insanity, and if you're coming up from CoasterGen, make sure you drop a comment. Make sure you press the notification bell on the channel so you get the notifications when the podcast goes live. Make sure you do that if you're coming over from Theme Park Insanity over here at CoasterGen. I've been Luke, he's been Joe. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next time.